the magnet right here, stationary. This is the stationary magnet. Let me just color this in black so you can see this. Okay, that's the magnet, stationary. So, this is a magnetic field. It's going to pull this car, because this car right here, this is metal. It's going to pull this car, this magnet's locked to the ground. It's going to pull this car forward. Because this is locked to the ground, so there's nothing moving this. So this can move, this is going to be pulled towards it, correct? So, this is a magnetic field here. If you were to take this, and the same goes the other way. If this car was locked to the ground and this was moving, this could move freely, this would slow.
Yeah, it would go towards the car.
However, if you had this connected here, don't worry about it. This is connected, the crane. So now these are both free moving.
So here, let me break it down for you.
Just no. Sit back down. Sit down. So, both of these are free moving. There is no force being applied to each one of these, correct?
Yes.
So, this, yes, it has
Except
a
for the
magnetic.
magnet.
The
There-
laws of thermodynamics.
There's a magnetic field. These are pulling towards each other. I'm just drawing it so he can see that they're
There's an equal amount of force being acted on each other.
Don't worry, fine.
I mean, we have a very tiny magnetic
Here,
field.
dog. What are you talking about?
Everything has a magnetic field somehow.
Just draw an arrow going through
We
it.
have this. So these are pulling towards each other, correct? Because this is connected. This is not locked to the ground. This is not locked to the ground. Because this is not locked to the ground, it's going to pull this way, and the car is going to pull this way. So they're not going to go anywhere. They're going to cancel each other out. The only way that
No. See, I see what you're thinking.
shut up. The only way
You're thinking of it wrong.
the only way that this is going to move is eventually this will break and these are pulled towards each other.
It's something you might study in health class.
This is not.
You wouldn't study so much in health class, but.
Explain it to us, Chris. Explain it to
Okay,
us.
look.
The only way that you're thinking of, is you get rid of the crane, you have a moving car here that has this magnet on the back of the car, and it's at the same distance. That's the only way that that's gonna pull
But that's
forward.
2 cars. That doesn't make any sense.
That's
Explain
the
it your way.
only
Explain it your
to
way.
get it.
Look. Because this, see, you're saying that like this will break or whatever, and then they'll pull towards each other. No, it gotta be strong, big, strong
I'm just
crane.
telling you right now, we could solve this problem. We have the tools in the shop
Big,
to do
strong
this.
crane.
If you want to build that, Chris, go ahead.
I do not want to build that.
He
It
does
sounds
not want to be
boring.
disproven.
It sounds boring.
Yeah,
I'm not
right,
much
right,
of a
right, right.
woodworker. Anyways,
Wood?
so big strong crane. This won't break. The magnet will just stay here. It'll just stay still here.
It'll
It
stay.
can't be
Okay.
pulled
Yes,
or moved
this is
at all.
This is locked in this place.
Locked in that place because it's
So
on
is
the
this.
car.
This is
How?
This is also locked in place.
It's on wheels.
Just because something's on wheels doesn't mean it has to move. This is locked
Getting a
in
little
place.
heated in there.
These are at the same distance.
The magnet.
He's losing it.
What? It doesn't look good.
Fine,
It looks like something
It
bad.
looks like something you would study.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I'm so good at drawing those.
There we
That's
go.
better.
There we
Trying
go.
to
There we
prove
go.
to Chris that perpetual motion is not a thing.
Okay. Do you know what a free body diagram is?
It's not a thing.
He said it's not a thing. For a full
Yeah.
body
Okay.
diagram.
The amount of energy you put in
So we have
is the only amount of energy you'll get out.
this block. We have rod coming
No,
over
no, it's the
here.
thing where you put a marble in it and it
have
spins around and then drop it and it
magnet.
jumps up higher.
It's a magnetic
For
field.
the 30th.
Goes like this,
It's when?
right?
The 30th. May 30th. Show up.
Okay.
If you don't show up, your family will die too.
The magnetic
Okay.
field comes out here and connects back into here, right?
Sure.
That's
Wait,
how
where?
it works.
This is how magnetic field works from positive.
I have it switched
Okay.
on that, but it doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Gallows.
Same concept.
Haven't used it yet.
Oh, I mean, the way you have it done, this would be the north and south. So this is pulling it in, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that means there's what kind of force? Can I use colors somehow?
Yeah, pen.
Red force. First of all, there's one force that we're not talking about, which is
That wouldn't work.
what?
Because it's the poles are different, you know. See, that would be it would be pulling it that way, and it would be pulling
No,
it
that's
that
this
way.
is how a magnetic field works.
So the magnetic field is going out like this.
Wait, or
right?
would that be more speed because it's pulling it?
This is
forward
this
twice
is one
as
this
much?
is one pole here. This
You can
is one pole.
imagine all of these are going in this direction like this, right? So the field is coming out here, so it's pushing
Yes.
away here, and it's coming in here, so these are pulling in, right?
Okay.
So there's a force vector being inserted here, like that. So it's trying to pull this block to here. But when the magnetic field tries to pull this block to here, this tries to get pulled towards it, right? This tries to get pulled towards it, right? So they want to come together. But that's going to cause there to be a force inside of this that is equal and opposite going in the opposite direction, right? So if we have our
there's no wheels on them.
blue force right here,
Here, do another color like green or something to show the arrow that this.
and I'm gonna put it right
Just do
here,
it like.
and then we have our red arrow right here. What happens? Let's say we were both
It's the
It
same.
would-
It's
yeah,
the same
five-
magnetic
It
force.
would just need to be a really strong
Five.
magnet.
It's the same magnetic force
so
pulling on both
5
ways.
newtons. Let's just say newtons is the arbitrary value we're using. If we add these two forces together, this is positive 5 newtons, this is negative 5 newtons. What do we get as our net force?
That one pulls 5, so then
Like
it's
the
positive
vacuum,
10.
Chris. Like the vacuum.
Yeah, because it pulls the negative.
It's 0
And
newtons.
there's zero. They equal each other.
Okay, so what happens
If
to the
I
vacuum?
increase the power of the magnet, what is going to happen to this vector right here? It's going to get bigger,
Magnet gets stronger. More
which is going to
pull.
cause this vector to increase equally. These vectors will always cancel each other out because they're connected.
So then they're gonna get pulled together.
If they weren't connected by this bar, they
They're
would
gonna-
slam
yes,
together.
they're gonna get-
They would slam together, and then they would stay together. They wouldn't keep moving.
Yeah, but that's because that's not on wheels.
The wheels change literally nothing.
The wheels don't do anything.
Okay, but then when that one gets pulled over there, it's gonna move because
There's
it's
no
getting
pulling. The
pulled.
force, the net force is still what?
Christian.
Then make that one stronger
Look.
than that one.
The
Look,
net force,
uh,
you can't because the power is all coming from the same source. This is just the opposite. This is pulling on this.
Chris.
This is pulling on this. This is the opposite.
If you
force
have
of
some,
them.
if you have a wheel standing up, does that wheel have to move?
No. There's no magnet pulling the wheel.
Chris, are you being serious?
Yeah.
This right here.
What are you talking
Are
about?
you really?
This.
Whoa.
It's on wheels.
Perpetual motion, what are you talking about? The energy from the magnet is going into the middle of the car,
It's all
pulling
one
it.
system.
Chris, look. Yes, you're right. You're Chris.
Once they're touching, they're one system. They're
Yeah,
apart.
but
Oh
they're
my
not
God.
touching, that's why they're
The
apart.
bar is causing them to touch.
Yes.
Causing them
Christian.
to touch.
You're exactly right, Chris. Yes, you're absolutely right.
absolutely right.
I
There
like that
is a
picture.
force that is being
Yeah.
applied.
It's super
and
basic
pulling this
physics.
magnet
It's as
towards-
basic
pulling
as
this car
physics
towards the
gets.
magnet.
He's going to physics next year. All right.
Yeah, you're gonna need to know this when you go to physics class, Chris.
I'll explain to my whole class why they're wrong.
There's a force. This car is being pulled towards the magnet.
Yes.
Right? Yes. Stay there. Stay seated. Do not talk.
Right, there's a magnet.
This car is being pulled
magnet
towards the
trying to pull
magnet.
the cart.
Correct.
The cart is
That
connected,
also
so the
means
cart
that
pulling this rod.
This
So the
magnet
forces
is being
cancel
pulled
out.
towards the car. Right? That's how a magnet
Because
works.
The magnet
If you have two magnetic things,
It's
they're
trying
going to
pull
pull towards
together.
each other
If
at the
the
same
bar is
force.
stopping it,
Correct.
if they got pulled together, then they would be stopping each other.
Correct.
But Chris thinks it's just gonna go forward.
Chris. Correct.
Can I talk now?
Chris,
Yes.
can we actually build this in real life? Go build it in real life.
I don't want to build anything.
Chris.
Let's
You
get
build it.
You have a metal thing here. You have a magnet thing here. They're gonna pull to each other at the same force.
Yeah,
correct?
like my magnet and then the other magnet.
There you
they
go.
both
Yes.
move towards.
They're gonna pull
they
each other
go
at the
point.
same force.
Yeah,
But
but that one's not a magnet.
it doesn't matter. It's still a magnetic field. They're still gonna pull to each other at the same force.
I feel like the next thing
How
Chris
does
is gonna
something
say.
not
just
a
both
magnet
of you
have a
shut up.
magnetic
The next
field?
thing Chris is gonna say is
How does
you have
something-
magnets with opposite polarity or with the
Wait,
same polarity.
How does something that's,
And
they
that's
repel
not a
each other,
magnet have
yeah.
a magnetic
and then
force?
it's going to do absolutely
Because
nothing.
it's getting pulled. It's
Chris,
How does
if
something
it-
that's not a magnet have a magnetic force?
Because it's being pulled at the same rate that this magnet is pulling towards that
It
metal.
doesn't actually have magnetism, it's just being affected by the magnet.
Technically, everything has magnetism. Everything has magnetism. However, you have a piece of metal that's being pulled this way,
Everything has some
and you have a
force.
magnet that's also pulling the metal that's coming
Yes.
this way. They're going to come
I
at the
can
same
confirm.
force, right?
Yeah.
Then they're going to slam together.
Yeah.
Okay. So, we have that force. So we know that this force, this magnet is pulling this way towards the car, and this car is pulling at the same way towards the magnet, correct? However, because of this bar here, because we